Chiasas, I'm Andrea and I'm a volunteer at Youth Center of Epirus. I'm helping Dani to realize this video. Dani is the author of this work, which is about the topics of migration. What is migration? What is the history of migration? We will find answers to these questions by listening to some interviews to people that will give their opinion. Let's start.
Okay, so this is a very complex question in a way. When I see it from the perspective of being an immigrant, I see it as a good thing because I believe that every human being has something different to bring in the society, and be it that some immigrants they come here and they come from countries that are very difficult to live in, so they come here to have a better quality of life. So basically they are looking for having their basic needs met, like having a roof over the head and a warm shower and the basic needs that they don't have in the country. So this is the first. So this is a basic human right that every human being must have on the planet, basically. And once this is achieved, then I think that every human being has potential to bring great things to the society and should be seen as that by the society.
They didn't choose to become migrants or asylum seekers. With this in mind, I think it is important to see that their lives have changed completely. And this means that, you have like a regular life, like you and me, but out of nowhere, in some cases, your life changes completely. And it changes in so many ways that you have to leave your house, your family, and move to another country.
Now, from another perspective, that is also very important. When an immigrant is coming here and they have issues with themselves, maybe when you have a problem with yourself and you go from a troubled house, let's say, or a country to another country, basically you bring the problems with you. So you bring, I'm speaking about the individual of every person. Every person has a different work to do with himself, and they bring this also to the society where they come in.
And they move country quite often, not just for economic reasons, but to give themselves a brighter future and to earn money to send back home. And so they really need to, what can I say?
Because if they are thinking about us, they are my immigrants, they are coming here, they are taking our jobs. This is not true. You must open your hearts and minds. Okay, if you are thinking he is Muslim, he is from Pakistan, he's black color, brown color, you don't think about this. You must think about he is human. He is human. He need good life, good future for his family. That's why he come here, because he have a lot of problem in his country. That's why he come here, for good future for his family, for him. If they think about this, maybe everything is good. And political parties and political leadership also think about this. Everybody cannot leave his country and leave his mother, father, parents also in house, because they have a lot of problem. That's why he come here. If they think about this, maybe everything is good. And immigration procedure is little bit difficult for us, for immigrants, for minors, for refugees, for everyone. It's so difficult. This is stupid immigration rules in Greece.
Because in Afghanistan we can't live, we are come here in other countries that we have a good life. because of this coming. Afghanistan right now, you know that yesterday, before yesterday, Taliban closed the doors of university and school from girls. Uh, we can't, on here we have Taliban everyday bomb and another things, and we can't live in here. We are coming in here because of lessons, because of securities, because of in the future we will have a good life. Because of this, we are coming in here. Every person don't like that we live in my countries because you born on here. It's your countries, but when in your countries you don't have peace, in your countries every day boom boom, it's problems. We can't stay in here.
Myself being an immigrant already for many years, I was not in Greece, I was out of my country for many years, and I have experienced as a European citizen that I was not having the same opportunities like somebody else. So I can think of the same way like for them, that there is like a things to face with the self before engaging with the society. But I have seen also many successful stories. So there are many immigrants that went to America or other countries that are very successful in what they do. So can we put everybody in one same basket? No, but I feel that everybody is responsible for themselves, and once they take responsibility, then everybody can contribute in the best way they deem in a certain society. So we cannot generalize basically. Everybody is different, everybody has something different to bring, and this is about the person itself. Every person is different, so we cannot say this is the law and this is how things work for everybody. We have to take apart every person and accept the journey of every person, and this is my perspective how I think about these things. I don't think that anybody is bad or good. I just think that it's like I keep a neutrality in everything. It's the best way to approach people. And if they get angry, then they have to deal with themselves, because somebody getting angry is nothing to do with anybody else, just with themselves. So yeah, this is, I feel, the best way I can.
Migrant person is somebody who has been living in a country for over a year, regardless of the reasons of his movement, voluntary or involuntary, and the means that this person used, legal or otherwise. An asylum seeker is a person who has left their country of origin due to serious human rights violations and is now seeking asylum in another country, but his or her position has not yet been legally recognized as a refugee person. And seeking asylum is a human right. A refugee is somebody who is unable to return to their country of origin due to a well-funded fear of being persecuted for different reasons, such as race, origin, nationality, membership of a particular social group, or political opinion and religion. International protection can be defined as a set of activities aimed at ensuring equal access to and enjoyment of the rights of people, and it is under the competence of United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. And it involves different legal instruments, such as international humanitarian law, human rights law, and international refugee law. International protection of refugees begins with securing their admission to a safe country of asylum and ensuring respect for their fundamental rights, including the right not to be forcibly returned to a country where their safety or survival is threatened. Protection ends only with the achievement of a durable solution, such as a voluntary repatriation in their country of origin, local integration in the host country, or resettlement to a third country of asylum.
A día de hoy hay que diferenciar mucho entre dentro de las migraciones entre las personas que huyen, salen de sus países por razones de guerra, desastres naturales, también por gobiernos inestables o dictatoriales, ¿no? Y que muchas veces no se les reconoce, ¿no? Entonces existe una protección internacional, pero la forma de aplicarla y la forma de llegar de las personas muchas veces impide que puedan acogerse a ese sistema. Eh, en España, la protección internacional, los primeros refugiados llegan en los años 90, la ley española también es de ese periodo, aunque los primeros refugiados llegaron antes incluso que hubiese una ley, fueron balseros cubanos los que llegaron. Y yo creo que a día de hoy habría que ser un poco más honesto con las migraciones. Europa pone sobre el papel que su objetivo fundamental es abrir vías seguras, mientras en el Mediterráneo no dejan de morir todos los días gente que intenta llegar, sin cuestionarnos por qué se intenta llegar y sin cuestionarnos también por qué existen esos regímenes y qué hacen los nuestros, sobre todo el europeo, con respecto a esos regímenes, porque muchas veces tienen acuerdos con ellos. En el caso, por ejemplo, también de España, lo que ha ocurrido recientemente en Ceuta con la policía marroquí y la connivencia de la policía española también en ese episodio de violencia de la policía marroquí, esas imágenes que dan vergüenza de las personas extranjeras amontonadas, ¿no? En territorio marroquí después de haber sido apaleadas por la policía, ¿no? No sé, creo que hay un doble rasero en cuanto a la forma de conceptualizar las migraciones, que por supuesto contribuyen muy positivamente y a las economías, para las economías de Occidente es fundamental la mano de obra inmigrante, que la protección internacional debería ser más honesta y deberían de producirse una verdadera posibilidad de acceder a la protección por parte de muchas nacionalidades de África que entran por la vía del salto a la valla, por ejemplo, en Ceuta y Melilla, y se les devuelve inmediatamente. Entonces, en mi opinión, las migraciones han contribuido desde siempre al desarrollo de las sociedades, como digo, a nivel económico y a nivel social. También lo que pasa es que, bueno, cada vez los recursos son menos también y cada vez hay una mayor utilización malvada de las migraciones para crear climas de desestabilización social y de enfrentamiento social, y eso creo que es muy peligroso.
The history of human being is a history of migration. We can say that the migration have always shaped the population that have been on the earth. The first one that we can speak about is the migration of Homo sapiens, which led these human beings from Africa to Europe, Asia, and Oceania. The main feature of this movement is that it led people to areas that were not populated. Later on, we have the Neolithical period in which the populations of the earth moved to areas due to agricultural reasons. It means that from this moment, the population started to settle in areas instead of being nomadic. With the civilizations of the antiquity, we have a change in the shape of migrations. Those can be, in this moment, either forced or not. We have a lot of cases that we can speak about, starting for example with the Aztec Empire. Migrations are due to the foundation of new cities. Also, we can speak, for example, about the Roman first moments in which migrations were due to expansion of territory and also to economical reasons like agricultural or related to shepherds. We have also the case of Greece. Greece is the Greek population originally were settled in small realities, the polis, and were not organized in a unique state, as it will be, for example, the case of Rome. Each polis, in a period around the 8th century before Christ, would, in case, send some of their inhabitants to other places all around the Aegean, but also the Mediterranean Sea, like on the western coast of Turkey, the northern coast of Africa, and the south of Italy. Here were built new cities with those new inhabitants that will lead to a new way of living. Later on, we can speak about the Arabic movements of migrations. We are speaking, for example, of the 7th, 8th, or 9th century after Christ. In this period, the innovations led by Arabic people settled also in all the Mediterranean. For this reason, for example, we use nowadays the Arabic numbers or algebra. When the modern states consolidate, we have new ways of migrations. For example, we can speak about the imperialism, which led a lot of people to move because they were forced to, not because they wanted to. It's the case of the Spanish imperialism in Southern America, which forced local inhabitants to flee to other areas, for example in the mountains, in order to escape death or slavery. Furthermore, we can speak about the Industrial Revolution later in the 19th century, which led people to move from the countryside to the cities in order to find better jobs and better life conditions. In the 20th centuries, we see the beginning of the global wars, such as the First and the Second World War, but also the conflict between Greeks and Turks. All those wars brought a lot of people to have been displaced from their country of origin and to be in other places all around the world. For this reason, we see also in this period the beginning of the international protection. At the beginning, the International Refugee Organization was actually a resettlement agency, also with the help of charities, and its aims were to help people to settle down in new environments. Eventually, the United Nations General Assembly decided to gather in Geneva on December 1950 and to sign the convention relating to the status of the refugees. From the year 1951, the general responsible for treating migrations is the High Commissioner of the United Nations.
If we look at the history of humankind, we see that people migrate uh, in all the existence,
Yeah.
in all its existence. This was partly of climate, one of the reasons. With the formation of states, this movement changed, and when we had nations, from the beginning of nations, it was more difficult for people to pass from one nation to another, and this is where they created a problem.
Cómo las migraciones han facilitado o han intervenido en el desarrollo de las sociedades. Yo creo que los orígenes de eso hay que buscarlo pues en el origen del propio desarrollo de las sociedades, porque lugares como Estados Unidos se han creado y se han desarrollado y han llegado a ser lo que son hoy en día gracias a las migraciones, ¿no? Por otro lado, en el caso de España, por ejemplo, con la llegada a América, eso supone otro punto importante en el desarrollo histórico de aquellas sociedades, ¿no? La influencia de España y el canal que se abre de intercambio, que en aquel momento eran principalmente gente que podía llegar a esos sitios, gente pudiente, pero a través de esa gente pudiente llegaron también sirvientes, esclavos, presidiarios. Entonces, como digo, históricamente hay muchas pruebas de cómo las migraciones han contribuido al desarrollo de las sociedades. En la revolución industrial igual, esos son un poco migraciones internas, ¿no? Gente venida del campo o de poblaciones más rurales se trasladan a las ciudades y contribuyen. Gracias a ello se produjo la revolución industrial y hubo mano de obra para poder desarrollar esa revolución industrial. Entonces, esto hila precisamente con el tema de las teorías de las migraciones, que yo creo que hoy en día está muy de relevancia una teoría que es la de Pior, que dice que las migraciones son necesarias para el sistema capitalista. Los sistemas capitalistas, que prácticamente son únicos a nivel global, aunque pueda haber todavía algún resquicio de otro tipo de regímenes económicos, pero realmente la expansión del capitalismo es prácticamente a nivel global. Como digo, para el capitalismo es súper importante que existan las migraciones, porque en tanto en cuanto existe una mano de obra barata, muy barata, va a haber enriquecimiento y va a haber siempre esa oferta de mano de obra. Bueno, esto es una manera muy simplificada de exponer esa teoría de Pior, pero que la formuló en 1979, pero que yo creo que hoy en día está muy de relevancia. El caso de España también con respecto a las migraciones, no es hasta los años 60 que empieza a producirse y a tener relevancia el fenómeno. Sobre todo, las primeras migraciones en España se producen sobre todo del campo a la ciudad. Y ya las migraciones internacionales, con el cruce de frontera y todo eso, se produce con la apertura del régimen de Franco al exterior en los años 60, y comienzan las emigraciones de los españoles a Francia, Alemania, y bueno, también creo que es indiscutible el desarrollo o la aportación de los trabajadores españoles a esas economías, tanto francesa como alemana, ¿no?
How do I think immigration has contributed to development? Well, I was born in the UK and I've lived in London for a large part of my life, and I think without immigrants, the economy and multiculturalism wouldn't have developed in such a positive way. The ideas that immigrants bring with them, their work ethic and their interest in doing something new providing for their families and having a real reason to come to these countries and inject that energy and that skill set into our economies, our societies, our communities, has largely been a hugely positive thing. I think in so many societies there are jobs we want to do and jobs that we don't want to do. And quite often immigrants take the jobs that we don't want to do. And those jobs are so important.
We have seen many different concepts about migration, and we have also seen the role that migration has played in the history of the world. But we have also seen what is the role of migration in the society. This last topic is the one that we will focus on in the next video.